From the beautiful city of Los Angeles, California, we bring you the Gimme Three podcast. Hello and welcome, cinephiles, cinema lovers, and movie appreciators to the Gimme Three podcast. This is the podcast where we pick three films connected by one theme. I'm Nicholas Ibarra. I'm joined by my brilliant co-host, Bella F. Stratus. Bella, what is cooking today?
Hey, I'm excited for this episode. This is a theme that we haven't done this one before. Yeah, this is one I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, and it will probably be a part one. We'll probably revisit this theme later down the line because there are quite literally hundreds of films. It's like being like, give me three comedies. It's like, give me three coming of age films is the theme for today, which obviously there are endless number of pictures that we could be discussing, but we picked some damn good ones, and I think it's that time of the year. There's a different energy in the air. It's because all the kids are going back to school. So you got the nerves, you got the butterflies, you got the cheap deodorant, which all these things scientists have actually proven can actually change the energy of an environment.
Wow.
I just made that up, but you can do that on podcasts. Ask Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
But I believe it's possible. If you watch these three films that we're going to be discussing today, you may agree with me. So to show our respect for the teens, heading back into school, we're doing this Gimme Three coming of age films. And you know what's fun? Well, I didn't even realize this as we were picking the movies, but it's coming of age across ages too. Because we've got films that take place in the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s.
Yeah. God, that's so true. We didn't even mean to do that.
We didn't. We did. I mean, of course, we meant to.
I mean, yeah. Wait.
Bella, the world wants to know: middle school, freshman year. What kind of kid was Bella F. Stratus like? Was you a rambunctious little Bella, or were you a goody little Bella?
Middle school, I was goody, honestly. But at the same time, I did have my own dramatic shift from bubbly to very, very sad.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't doing crazy. I wasn't out there doing crazy stuff, but I was in my room.
Right.
and that's pretty much it.
Right. It happens. At this age, I was probably closer to Dídi in terms of like personality, as far as like being a little shy. Dídi, the last film that we're going to be discussing today, a little shy, a little reserved. I had a misfit group of friends from like 8 different races. We called ourselves the Chex Mix crew. And I always kind of flirted with going off the edge in a direction closer to the second film we're going to be talking about, 13.
Mm-hmm.
I was presented that door many times, and I peeked my head inside, but I never fully walked through.
Yeah.
But as we'll get into, that was my era, that 13. I am essentially of the age that those characters are in that film. So
wow,
that movie is a trip down memory lane in a lot of ways. So,
oh, that's amazing.
But we'll get into it. We're going to come of age, everybody. We're going to come of age together. Shout out to all the kids going back to school this week. Do your work, read your books, study hard. It's good for you. Trust me. But Bella's going to start us off here.
All right. Up first, we've got a true staple of the coming-of-age genre, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, from 2012, written and directed by Stephen Chbosky, adapted from his own novel, actually, which is pretty cool. The film takes place in the early 90s and follows Charlie, played by Logan Lerman, a painfully shy freshman who's just returned home after a stay in a psychiatric hospital. He's struggling with depression, grief, and the weight of a complicated family history. And on his first day of high school, he really only has his English teacher to talk to. But everything changes when he meets two outcast seniors, Patrick and Sam, played by Ezra Miller and Emma Watson, my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
They bring him into their world of misfits and wallflowers, and suddenly Charlie has friends to go to parties with, to share mixtapes and late night drives with, and to really help him feel like he truly belongs. And through them, Charlie starts to experience the highs of teenage life. You know, first love, parties, edibles, the Smiths, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and all the small but unforgettable moments that truly make you feel alive at that age. But with every high point comes some very real lows. We see Charlie wrestle with depression and flashbacks, trying to process this lingering trauma of his childhood. His deep friendships and the books his English teacher gives him each week keep him afloat, but there's always this undercurrent of pain that he's trying to process and understand. It's a real nostalgic time capsule of the 90s and a coming-of-age film that I think stands the test of time with its very honest portrayal of mental health, but also blended with all of the joy and the heartbreak of growing up. Nick, what did you think of Perks of Being a Wallflower?
I enjoyed it. I found it very, very enjoyable. I had not seen it before.
Oh, wow.
So this was a first-time watch for me. I remember in high school, a lot of my classmates reading the book and being in love with it. But that's one thing I was not in high school. I was not nerd enough or smart enough to read recreationally in high school. That was my line.
That's where you drew the line, yeah.
But I respected the kids that did it, and I was always curious. What are you reading right now? You know?
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
People have been telling me to watch it for years because of the Rocky Horror stuff, you know. So which I obviously related to, but yeah. Overall, I thought in the first act I was a little bit hesitant with the piece. Like the tone wasn't quite hitting for me, or I don't know. It felt like too polished, or for lack of a better word, like Hollywood. But once I accepted that it was kind of a modern day John Hughes film, which is what this film feels like, I enjoyed it way more. And then I read that John Hughes at one point actually got the rights to the book and was slated to write the screenplay and direct this.
Oh, no way.
But he unfortunately passed away, so that didn't happen. It delayed the making of the picture, but it feels like Stephen Chbosky tipped his hat to the master John Hughes here. And obviously, you know, him writing his own story makes, you know, probably added a lot of depth and heart to the film that maybe another filmmaker would not have been able to capture. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Good. Yeah, no, I feel like I actually agree with what you're saying. For me, like the beginning, it almost feels rushed as well. But then you kind of realize what it is doing. And I can see how it might be a little too late, but that realization, I feel like, changes the whole way you feel about the rest of the film. And even the first half. But yeah, I forgot how insanely stacked the cast is in this movie as well.
Yeah, it's a stacked cast for sure.
Yeah, it's just like right and left. You're like, oh, that person's in it. Oh, I've seen you before. Which is always fun in a movie like that, in like a coming of age film. I feel like that's a fun choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie was like a cultural reset for me, honestly, in a way. I feel like when you asked me earlier what kind of 13 or teen I was, I should have mentioned this one because I feel like this movie influenced me so much at 13. I was like, oh,
well, no wonder you were sad. Like Jesus Christ.
I know, exactly. But like even just the fun parts of it, like you know, feeling kind of like an outcast, but being like happy about, like, you know, not feeling. It's kind of different from Dìdi, where it's like him feeling like an outcast was the source of his loneliness.
Right.
But I feel like in this film it's more like they thrive off of being different. That sounds so stupid. But you know, like the Come On Eileen school dance scene
Yeah.
was formative for me. And then of course like the Rocky Horror. I mean, that was my introduction to Rocky Horror, which is hilarious. So it's just like things like that that influenced me, and like my taste in music. You know, I was like obsessed with the Smiths in early high school and all of that. So
Right.
this was a big one for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is. Yeah, no wonder I was so fucking sad, because this movie is devastating. I mean, it just rips your heart out.
Yeah, it's got a banger soundtrack. There is a lot of really outstanding needle drops in this movie. It takes place in 1991, so you get like a lot of late 80s pop gems like Come On Eileen, and you got like Crowded House, Don't Dream It's Over.
Yes.
And then they play. The one kind of qualm I had was, you know, the Tunnel song that they there's a scene where they're driving through the tunnel and this song comes on the radio, and Emma Watson's character is like, we got to go through the tunnel so I could do my flying thing, which where she stands on the bed of the truck and pretends like she's flying. But the song that they hear that she does not know and cannot place is, was it Heroes?
Yeah.
By
Heroes.
David Bowie. And I'm just like, I just don't believe that this gay teenager, I don't believe that these theater kids don't know who David Bowie is.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys do Rocky Horror Picture Show and you don't know who David Bowie is. Like, it's just,
Right.
that's a plot hole. I'm sorry. It's a plot hole.
It is. It's a massive plot hole. And it's just so funny because when I was younger, I actually didn't really think about that. And I was like, oh man. I mean, obviously completely fell in love with Heroes after watching this movie as well. And was like, imagine discovering this song in that way. But yeah, now as an adult, I'm like, oh, that was dumb. They really, these characters would have known that
They would have known. They would have known.
It would have been their favorite already.
Yeah. But besides that, yeah, the needle drops are outstanding. Really, really great soundtrack. There's a lot of just like cultural pinpoints. If you're into culture, this is like a feast for you, because you got the Rocky Horror, you got all these amazing tracks that are used throughout the picture. There's all these references to different books, you know. His English teacher that he has a very close relationship with is giving him some great books to read throughout the film. So yeah, there's just a lot of anchors, and I could see why any teen would devour this book and like look up to these characters and be like, man, they're cool. Man, they're smart. Look at these books they're reading. I want to read those books. I want to listen to this music, because there's, you know, A, teens are impressionable, and B, like, aren't they feeling things? I want to feel things.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, I really dug it. The cast was great. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest Ezra Miller fan.
Yeah.
And this was, I was not an Ezra Miller fan before it was cool to not like Ezra Miller, before he was, you know, all the, you know, run-ins with the law and whatnot.
Right.
I just always feel like he's acting, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's too much.
It's just a little too much.
Yeah.
But then again, theater kids, you know?
Yeah. I think in a way it like works in this film a little bit.
It does. Yeah. Yeah. It does.
But at the same time, it's like unfortunate, because I feel like Patrick is supposed to be such a lovable character. So it works, but it also like works against him a little bit at the same time. And then Emma Watson's American accent in like the first 45 minutes is so brutal.
You know what? I honestly I didn't even notice it.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, it's like it's just in the first half that I was like, "Oh, girl, we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry." And then she does. But I love her. I think that was such great casting um for Sam. And I also absolutely adore Logan Lerman. I think this is such a great performance from him, and I think they have really great, like unexpected chemistry as well.
Yeah, they got great chemistry, and
Yeah.
Logan looks so much like a kid that I went to high school with that it was really tripping me out, and it was like
Oh wow.
pulling me into the movie in a different way. So
Oh wow. Yeah.
that was a little trippy, but yeah, Emma. I love this. I love all the styling in this movie. Like all the
Mm.
costumes, all the hair is all terrific. Emma Watson's hairstyle in this is almost identical to Ali Sheedy's hairstyle at the end of Breakfast Club after she gets like made over by Molly Ringwald.
Oh yeah. I
And I
didn't
wonder
even
if
think about that.
that was like a little tip of the hat to John Hughes, but because she is kind of like that
She's a total John Hughes character.
she's that duality of woman, you know?
Mhm.
So I loved that hair, even down to the little thing in her hair. So yeah,
The
anyways,
headband.
I
Yeah,
just,
she's so cute.
yeah, it made it. There's a lot of styling choices that I really adored in this movie. So there's a lot to
Yeah.
love. I mean, it's damn enjoyable. It moves kind of like a freight train.
Yeah.
And I think from what I hear, I haven't read the book, but from what I hear, it's a pretty good adaptation of the book. And I suppose it's because the screenwriter was the author.
Yeah. Which I feel like is rare. And I think he directed it too.
Yeah, he
Like he
did.
did all
Mhm.
of it, which is crazy. So
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool accomplishment.
very cool. Yeah, yeah. The last episode we talked about, Mary Rogers adapted her own screenplay for the original Freaky Friday. So,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, we got it going.
Wow.
Let's see. Do you have any final thoughts on the old perks of being a wallflower?
I think I mean, I feel like a big part of this film is also just the depiction of Charlie's mental health struggles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it does it really well. It kind of has you guessing what happened with him throughout the film. But then once it's revealed, it is so overwhelming for you as it is for him in the moment. It's kind of like a shared experience of you both realizing what he went through as a child. But um so I think the way they reveal it is it hits so hard every single time. And it's really complicated as well, which I actually think sets this movie apart in ways,
Yeah.
because it just makes it a bit more relatable and
Mm-hmm.
realistic,
Right.
and special in a way. But and I think Logan Lerman's performance is a testament to that. Like he knew exactly what needed to be done to like get these messages across and these feelings like so real, if that makes sense.
Yeah. The reveal of the source of his mental health struggles
Mhm.
was quite the twist. Or just like, yeah, like you said, quite the
Yeah.
reveal. And it does like it for a second, you're just like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. But then you think about it, you're just like, no, actually it didn't. They kind of laid
Right.
out the breadcrumbs and wisely whenever flirted whenever flirting with that subject or broaching that subject, both the film and the character would try and like, avoid it.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I thought it was very well executed.
I think it's a special movie and a special cast, specifically Logan Lerman and Emma Watson. Like I said, I just love them. I think Paul Rudd is great as the English teacher as well.
Yeah.
That man also literally never ages, and it's fucking terrifying. But he looks the same now.
Is he half black? What's going on here?
Who knows? Definitely witchcraft. That's all I'm saying. Final thought from you?
The Rocky Horror scenes obviously were very relatable to me and brought me back and made me miss Rocky Horror, my time of performing.
So did you do that in high school?
Not in high school. Max and I went in high school to see a shadow cast for the first time, and then right after high school they opened up a shadow cast near where, or closer to where I live. And Creatures of the Night was the name of the cast.
Amazing.
And I started as the lighting guy. I started doing lighting for them and like helping with the props and the set deck and all that kind of stuff. And then over time, they had me be the criminologist, like the narrator guy. And then kind of like this, one time a Rocky couldn't make it last minute, so I had to do Rocky. And
no way.
Eventually I did Frankenfurter a few times, but Brad was kind of my home base guy.
That's amazing.
I was a good Brad.
I love it.
Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's got a little something for everybody, I'd say. And it's available on HBO Max, which, by the way, is called HBO Max again. I never stopped calling it HBO Max if you've been listening to the podcast, because I said, who in God's name decided to change it to Max? They're idiots. And turns out I was right, because it's HBO Max again. All right, we're going to jump ahead now. We're going to both jump ahead in time, in kayfabe time, but we're also going to jump backwards in time, in movie making time. Are your heads spinning?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's called 13 is the name of the picture. 13 from 2003, and it's directed by Catherine Hardwicke. It's written by Catherine Hardwicke and Nikki Reed. The film stars Nikki Reed, Holly Hunter, Jeremy Sisto, a young Brady Corbett, by the way. And, of course, the unforgettable and career-launching performance of Evan Rachel Wood. And Wood plays Tracy Freeland, 13 years old, hence the name 13. She's in junior high. She's smart. She's responsible. She helps her mom out at home. She's got her shit together, it seems like. She's got a good head on her shoulders. Her mom's working her butt off to kind of get back on her feet as a hairstylist. Her mom is also a recovering addict, and she's staying clean. She's fighting the fight here. So at school, Tracy cannot help but be taken by these popular girls at school. Evie Zamora and her clique of friends. They look cool. They dress like adults. They got their thongs sticking out, their belly button rings. This was all the style of the time, They're just hip. And Tracy feels even less hip when one of those cool girls comments on her Cabbage Patch socks. She's got these little girl teal socks sticking out of her shoes. By the way, quick aside. The styling in this film. Yeah. Okay, so I was in junior high at the time that this film was shot, 2002. So I'm essentially the same age as these characters. So all the styling, all the clothes, obviously, not only took me back, but one of the first shots of them at this school, there is a background artist, just some kid in the background, with a big baggy FUBU jersey that's like turquoise and white. Because at the time, girls wore skin-tight shit, skin-tight everything, and boys wore shit that was like 2 or 3 sizes too big. But anyway, I saw that jersey when I was watching it the other day, and something inside of me, like the 13-year-old inside of me went, ooh, I want that. Like, it's like, not only did it take me back, but the kid in me was still like, yeah, candy, I want that. Like, it was... It's ingrained.
Like, oh, man, he looks sick.
Yeah, sick, bro. That's tight. That's tight. Anyways, Tracy, like me, wants to impress these cool chicks in school because they're essentially treated like goddesses. These hot chicks. So she gets a few new pairs of clothes to impress Evie, and once Evie gives her the look over and is like, yeah, maybe you could be cool, maybe you could be groomed. Evie's got her in her web, and things go into another gear, and it is off to the races. They start stealing, they start smoking, drinking. It's sex, drugs, and new metal. You know what new metal is, Bella?
Explain, elaborate.
New metal is spelled N-U. Metal. There's a genre of music that was like the new metal, so it was not Guns N' Roses. It was like Korn, Linkin Park, System of a Down, metal that introduced like electronic instruments also, and DJs, Slipknot, new metal. Anyways, sex, drugs, and new metal. Tracy's mom, Melanie, takes notice in this change in Evie. How could you not? Slyly, in a move of evil genius that only a teenage girl can conceive, Evie starts to suck up to Melanie, too. She's like complimenting her. Oh, man, I love the way you cook, Mel. Oh, man, you look cool. You're the cool mom, Mel. She talks to her like a real person. She even tells Mel, these deep, dark secrets about her life, if they're true. Evie goes as far as to ask Melanie to adopt her into the family. This is a hard ask because Tracy is plummeting. She is going off the deep end, and it's not only affecting Tracy, it's affecting the whole family. Melanie's lost her boyfriend. He's gone off the rails and is using again, which is not good. And the brother's crumbling, and it's just a total fucking shit show. It's a total
pretty much
fucking shit show. And it's called 13. Bella, what did you think of this intense film?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, I cannot believe the woman who gave us 13 also gave us Twilight. What an icon. Catherine Hardwicke understands the pains of girlhood better than most. I immediately was like, oh my God, the new Bev should do a Catherine Hardwicke double bill with 13 and Twilight. I would love to see the crowd that shows up for that. But in all seriousness, this movie fucked me up. This is a dark coming of age film. But one that I think is important and a pretty honest depiction of the dark side of girlhood. This movie is aptly titled because 13 really does feel like the make or break year in girlhood, meaning like you either stay in that bubble of childhood innocence a little bit longer, similar to like some of Tracy's friends, like Vanessa Hudgens cameo in this, which I was not expecting.
Her first role ever.
Yeah,
first film role.
Baby, so tiny, I couldn't believe it. Or your entire world flips upside down and everything changes, like for Tracy. And I would say more often than not, I feel like it's the latter. Like 13 was a tough year for me and my parents, especially for my mom, because I had a similarly dramatic and like quick shift in personality or demeanor like Tracy. She was not prepared for it, similar to like Tracy's mom in this, just going from being that little bubbly, happy, innocent kid to suddenly like very overwhelmed, very anxious, very depressed, pushing away the one person who just wants to make sure you're okay, and like having so many issues with your parents. And I didn't have like the same rebellious transformation Tracy goes through with like her clothes and, like getting her belly button pierced. Oh my God, I could never. But experimenting with drugs or all that, but it definitely was like the personality or I guess mental health shift.
Right.
But I think adding to that, I think another brilliant aspect of Tracy's character development in this film that is very realistic is at the beginning we see that this kind of sadness or loneliness, darkness, whatever you want to call it, has always been there under the surface. Like in that poem she reads, or writes and reads to her mom, and it's a lot. Her mom's like, "It scared me."
Yeah.
And I think, at 13, you're on the puberty wave, and that darkness, I guess, starts to get amplified and I think manifests in like much more serious ways. Because your emotions are running high and everything just kind of suddenly feels like very high stakes, and your parents are always out to get you, and your rebellious friends are the only ones you can trust. I mean, everything's just twisted. But yeah, so 13 really hit the nail on the head with this one.
Yeah, I think this, to me, was the most accurate representation of growing up and this age, at least for me. But again, I am the age of these characters. I was in junior high at this time, so for me, it's like, wow, it was like, I'm back. They absolutely nailed it. Again, I never went down this path, but I knew these girls, I knew these boys, and it was so authentic and true to my experience. So they really nailed it. And I think part of the reason why it feels so real and raw is because it was co-written by Nikki Reed. It was co-written by, a 13-year-old.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
But yeah, the cast is amazing. It's got, in a way, it's the visual approach is very of its time, and it's very dated to a certain extent, but I think even revisiting it, it still works because it just takes you back into that time period. It's impossible not to look at this film and like be aware of it being early 2000s. Like the clothes, the music, and the filmmaking is so aggressively early 2000s that why shy away from it? So I like the visual style, but it is, if you don't like that, they did it in Traffic, they did it in a lot of movies of the time where it's like the whole color palette is just blue, everything's just fucking blue in one scene, and then in another scene it's just green, everything's green.
Yep.
So if you're not into that, like, you may not like the look of this movie, but for the what the characters are going through, I thought it worked because it feels gritty and it feels ugly.
Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense, like mood or tonal wise, because it starts out just like the blue, I feel like, is just dreary. It's kind of like she's starting to feel sad. She's going through it, and then when it gets to like, well, then it's like super oversaturated at one point too. And I think it's like right after she befriends Evie. And it's like, it's like an acid trip. Like they're just on cloud 9 together. And then the green, it's like, okay, shit is getting ugly. Like before it was just blue. Now it's really bad. And then, by the end of it, it's like all the colors basically washed out to the point where it almost looks black and white. And so, it's very extreme, but I loved it. That is like my kind of shit. I ate it up. It does feel so of its time, like you said.
Did you have, I don't know what your favorite scene is the correct terminology here, but did you have a scene that stuck with you the most?
I thought it was really funny to see, just off the top of my head. This wouldn't be my favorite because, God, there's just so much going on in this film. But I thought it was really fun to see like Melrose in 2003.
Yeah, so much cooler.
Yeah, and like they go inside of, I don't remember what it's called in the film, but what is now Wasteland. And it's just crazy that like, instantly recognizable, and it's just been there all this time, and it's still just as iconic. So yeah, I thought, or just like even walking down Hollywood, like, I don't know, just all the different locations that they shoot in. I thought that was really fun to see. It really is such a time capsule.
Yeah. It's a very LA movie too,
Oh yeah.
We were watching this, Sonja and I were watching this the other night, and I said, this is kind of like the kids of LA. And she said, yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Totally. She's like, which is also why it's a little more tame. So yeah. If you want to go even further, you could watch Kids.
Oh man.
I do have here, Gimme Three pieces of trivia. I want to play a game. Piece of trivia number 1. Okay, the film was loosely based on child actress Nikki Reed's real, tumultuous childhood. She said it was the worst time for me, really destructive, like slapping myself across the face but loving it. So Reed co-wrote the script with Catherine Hardwicke, who was a Hollywood production designer at the time. She's done so many big movies. Tombstone, she was a production designer for Tombstone, Tank Girl, just to name a few. But anyways, Catherine Hardwicke was dating Nikki Reed's dad at the time. And Hardwicke confirmed that Nikki's decline into rebellion, she said, when she started changing from 12 to 13, I saw her losing her joy, and it really freaked me out. I wanted her to get back to creative rather than destructive. So that's how the duo came about creating this film together, and they wrote the film together in 6 days.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. And they maintained that relationship because Nikki Reed's in Lords of Dogtown, and she's in Twilight also.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So, piece of trivia number 2. Catherine Hardwicke's like, hey, we got this great script, and it's so real, and it's so authentic. And Hollywood's like, fuck you. Catherine Hardwicke said she was only paid $3 to direct the film because no studio at the time wanted to make an R-rated movie about teen girls. She said every studio and every financier said, no, we cannot make it. How can we make a movie that's going to be R-rated with an unknown 13-year-old girl in the lead? Everybody said no. So Hardwicke ultimately produced it herself with a budget of about $2 million, which she raised through independent equity financing, and only paid herself $3 so the rest could be used for film production.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Good for you, Catherine Hardwicke.
Yeah.
And then here we go. Piece of trivia number 3. The tongue stud that Nikki Reed has in the film. That's real.
Oh my God.
The tongue stud that Evan Rachel Wood has in the film, not real. It was made of like a suction cup type thing, but, because of saliva and whatnot, it would occasionally would fall off. And because of this, Evan Rachel Wood said she ended up accidentally swallowing a few of these tongue studs by the time the movie finished filming. It's like, shit, you should have just fucking got your tongue pierced, girl.
Yeah, at that point.
Pooping out studs for a month.
Oh my God. Ooh, yeah, that tongue piercing scene.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I hate it. I could never.
Do you have piercings? Are you a pierced
no
gal?
Piercings,
tattoos?
no tattoos.
So you're not a
yeah.
You don't like needles.
I think the tattoo thing for me, it's more just I'm so fucking indecisive.
Right.
That I'm like, I could never make that decision of something on me for the rest of my life. Even if I loved it wholeheartedly that day, I'd probably hate it the next day. So, until I figure that out, I'll hold off on it. Piercings though, yeah, I think it is the needle actually more so with that I'm just.
I mean, it's horrifying.
I don't love it.
Giant needle right through No, thank you.
Yeah. I'd love to have a lot of piercings, but yeah, no thank you. I'm good.
Any final thoughts on 13?
I think I just have to shout out Holly Hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. I think she's one of the greatest actors of all time. Like everything I see her in, it's just I believe her. I
Mhm.
believe she is this person and that she's going through this and um yeah, it's such a devastating performance
Yeah.
on so many levels.
It's such a layered character and a layered performance of like
Yeah.
she's got shit that she's got going on with
Yeah.
herself, and then this tornado comes into her life, and you could just feel the overwhelm, and you could feel her struggle with not trying to relapse.
Mhm.
Um, it is because Nikki Reed and Catherine Hardwicke are so sorry, because Nikki Reed and Evan Rachel Wood are so like loud and like they
Yeah.
suck up the room so much in the scenes where they're on. It's like easy to look past Holly Hunter, but she is outstanding in this. I think she was actually nominated for an Academy Award for this role.
She
So,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think Evan Rachel Wood might have been nominated for a Golden Globe
Oh,
for
maybe.
this. I could be wrong,
Right.
but and same with Holly Hunter. I think she got nominated for both, but very well deserved. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, oh my god, also Evan Rachel Wood is out of this world
Yeah,
in this film.
she is great.
Next level acting right there. And the fact that she's actually like 15, I think she's like 15 when she made this movie or turned 15
Yeah.
is insane.
I was watching, just for the sake of watching it, some like behind the scenes interviews with, while they were on the set with like Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed. And they're like so put together. They're like talking, about the depth of the characters. It's like, man, they are good actors because like I saw it, you see them in that time period. So they're wearing the same clothes and you see it's like, oh, you're upstanding citizens. You're a credit to society. But
God, the maturity level.
yeah, it's unbelievable. And then Brady Corbett, director
Oh my
of
god.
such films as The Brutalist, and what's the other movie he made before that? Oh yeah, he did that Vox Lux. But anyways, he's really good in this too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, this movie's amazing. I did not know how to like it's one of those that'll stick with you. Like I didn't
Yeah,
even know what to do after it ended. I was just like, man, oh man, that was a fucking journey.
yep.
So yeah, it's powerful stuff. I think sorry, this is a final thought, but one thing I did want to talk about is um this movie really perfectly touches on the way women and girls are sexualized and how much it affects young girls, especially at this age,
Mhm.
like, and I feel like that's such a big thing in like early 2000s as well. Like, she starts wearing like her thongs hanging out, the whale tail is what they call it, and like makeup at 13 because that is the definition of beauty that's being handed to her. And then what I loved is there's even this one like beauty brand poster that kind of becomes a sort of motif in the film. We see Tracy walk by it a bunch of different times, and it's just this extreme close up of a woman's eyes with the words "beauty is truth" written at the bottom.
Mm.
And as the film goes on, that poster, every time she walks by it, starts to decay more and
Mhm.
more, and it's
Right.
kind of like mirroring Tracy's own decline.
Right.
And I thought that was such a clever visual choice that's also serving as like a constant reminder of just how damaging these beauty standards can be on young girls who are just trying to figure out who they are in a world that's telling them exactly who and how they should be.
Yeah.
So it's never even talked about once in the film. which is just brilliant. Like, they don't have to, they don't have to spell it out.
Right.
It's obvious. And I thought that was another great layer to the film.
Here's another bonus piece of trivia for you. That billboard or that poster, that beauty is truth, the close-up of the eyes, those are Nikki Reed's eyes.
Oh, real? Okay, yeah, I was so curious. I was like, what is this image? Where did this come from? Wow, that's a great fun fact.
13. I don't know where it's available.
You know what's crazy? It's available on Disney Plus. Yeah, I watched this movie on Disney Plus.
Because Disney owns Searchlight, Fox Searchlight, and 20th Century Fox now.
Yeah.
So Tracy Freeland is a Disney princess.
Yes. Yep, exactly.
If there's any more of a prime example of how this streaming wars bullshit, it makes absolutely no sense, look no further than watch 13 on Disney Plus. You know what? Kids should watch this movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
They should. Learn a thing or two.
There you go. No, yeah, I think it's also on Hulu and Netflix and all of those. So, but Disney Plus, yeah, all the kids can watch it now.
And we recommend you do, kids. That is going to take us to a break, my friends. During that break, you are going to hear from LADFF director, Gimme Three producer, and my wife, Sonja Mereu, for a segment that we call Sonja's Movie Minute. So stick around for that and much more right here on the Gimme Three podcast.
Hello, I'm Sonja, and this is my Movie Minute. Today I have to give Catherine Hardwicke her flowers. I know she gets a little bit, or a lot bit, of shit for directing Twilight. But hey, at least she directed the best of the Twilight movies. She began her career production designing such major films as Tombstone, Three Kings, and Vanilla Sky. To me, her most significant production designing credit is Tank Girl. She brought the fun and imaginative post-apocalyptic comic book to life and created a world that's as fun to look at today as it was 30 years ago. She has an incredible eye for casting young talent. Evan Rachel Wood and Nikki Reed in 13 are as heartbreaking and scandalous as any real-life teens. The young cast of Lords of Dogtown feel as authentic as the real guys in the Dogtown and Z-Boys doc. And getting back to Twilight, sure, the movie is not a masterpiece, but she does all she can with source material that's pretty cheesy and awkward. And I will argue that her decision to cast Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson as Bella and Edward was nothing short of visionary. They are two icons of their generation, and they brought every ounce of humanity they could to those characters. Of her movies, 13 is my favorite. Revisiting it the other day, I felt like I was watching my teenage diaries projected on a movie screen. So thank you, Catherine. Thanks for Tank Girl. Thanks for 13. And thanks for your efforts to depict vampires who become glittery when they're in the sunlight.
It's the Gimme Three podcast, everybody. And to celebrate the return to school for so many youngsters, we're talking coming-of-age films. And before the break, we discussed Perks of Being a Wallflower and 13, diametrically different films in terms of tone and vibe. But the one we're going to talk about next is kind of like a middle ground, wouldn't you say, Bella?
Yeah, I think so. We're ending with a much more recent coming-of-age film from 2024, Sean Wang's first feature film, Dìdi, based on his own childhood growing up in Fremont, California. This is a coming-of-age film for the early Gen Zs, set in the good old year of 2008. Fremont, California. The film stars Isaac Wang as an impressionable, curious, and insecure 13-year-old Taiwanese-American kid named Chris Wang. In the last month of summer before high school begins, Chris finds himself caught between cultures, between childhood and high school, and between wanting to fit in and figuring out who he actually is. He spends his day making rambunctious YouTube videos with his best friends, attempting skate tricks, chatting on AIM, and of course, trying to impress his crush. But like so many kids his age, he's tripped up by his insecurities, immaturity, and the weight of other people's expectations. His friendships start to crack, his confidence takes some hits, and his relationship with his mother becomes especially strained, all on the cusp of his big sister heading off to college. It's kind of just the perfect storm going on here. The film perfectly captures this age, this era, and where you feel embarrassed by your family, you're desperate to be cool, but still wanting to be loved. It's a true coming of age about identity, family, and just good old growing pains. So, Nick, what did you think of Dìdi?
This was another first watch for me. Yeah. So
Yay.
I did not catch this last year, wanted to. It left the theaters before I could catch it. So was happy to watch it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought this kid, Isaac Wang, is that his name? Really strong performance by this youngster. And Joan Chen, who is great in everything, delivers one hell of a performance also. I think that the relationship between those two characters was really beautifully executed, and especially as we come into the third act and you kind of get this blow up between the two of them and this reconciliation. I thought it really made the picture something special. I very much enjoyed their dynamic.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this was similar to 13 in a way, where it's almost equally about the mom as it is the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's one of my favorite parts of this film. Obviously, as you said, Joan Chen is incredible. And I also I love the parallel between, this movie is, I think, like semi-autobiographical. And it kind of touches on like imposter syndrome in a way,
right,
that can be really hard to grow out of, even as an adult, in your like artistry and your career. And so I really love, he always was like, oh, I never really saw myself as a filmmaker. I just made videos. But it's like, that's the same thing. And
well, don't give everybody false.
Okay, well, like,
let's not lie to the people here.
That's fair. Redact. But he went on to, I mean, this guy was Oscar nominated.
Yeah.
Documentary about his two grandmothers. And actually we do see Nai in this film as the grandmother, his own grandmother. So I thought that was really beautiful too. But I was gonna say, I love the parallel between him and his mother as artists, like lonely, kind of lost artists.
Right.
And it's one of those things where you don't realize how similar you are until you grow up. And I feel like Dídi has, or Chris has, his first realization that his mother is a person outside of him, if that makes sense. Like, it's the first, what a beautiful and relatable thing to portray on screen is that moment of realization when you realize your parents are more than just your parents as a kid. And I feel like that's something we don't really get to see a lot portrayed on screen. And it's such a great scene because his mom gets real with him. Like, she's very blunt and honest about, I had dreams of another life. But then she comes back to, getting to watch you and your big sister grow up and love and learn so many things that I can't teach you. She says, I realize you are my dream. And, how could I be ashamed of you? I mean, it's cue the freaking waterworks. But yeah, so that scene is, of those two together is definitely my favorite. And I think is the biggest piece of the puzzle of this film.
Yeah, definitely.
this movie also, I think, does a great job of like digital storytelling. I don't know what word to use, but you know, AIM and the internet is such a big part of it.
Right.
And the way they portray it is so funny. Like, for example, there's a scene where he's chatting on AIM, and I think he's chatting with his crush, Maddie. He is in Chris, our main guy. And she says something. It's right after he's gotten in like a fight, and she sees it, and she like messages him, "I'm glad you're okay," with a smiley face, and it like pushes in on the smiley face because that's obviously like a flirty smiley face.
Right.
And getting that from your crush is like instant butterflies at that age because you're like, "Ooh, that means something more." So I thought that was really funny and very relatable, at least for me.
Yeah, I think that's where the generational divide is. So Sonja and I were talking about this, is like so much of like big character moments in this film happen on a computer screen or like or texting cell phone stuff. And that for me just like foosh, like over my head. Like not only did those scenes like not emotionally connect for me, as like that was where like I would kind of like my brain would kind of tune out a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just like camera on screen, you know, it doesn't I want to see humans talking to each other, but you know, I'm old, so everybody who grew up in this era, you know, I'm sure it's totally relatable. And everybody after that generation will find it relatable because I don't think the screens are going anywhere.
Yeah, they actually have never met real people.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be movies for in the future. It's just going to be only people texting and messaging each other.
And watching videos of each other. Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite lovely, and I loved the little group of friends he had. It reminded me of me and my group of friends because we were all like different races, and we were all kind of just like, you know, we didn't really fit. We didn't really like fit it. You know, we weren't jocks. We weren't like nerds. We weren't this or that. So we just kind of like had our own thing, and we blew a lot of shit up like they do in this movie. Because we didn't do like drugs or drink either. We're just like not that we couldn't. It was just like it's like
it just wasn't your thing.
We were poor, you know. It was like we can't afford that. Like, so let's blow some shit up instead.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I feel like this is a great depiction of boyhood.
Yeah.
On the flip side of like 13's girlhood. Like,
yeah.
Even just, I love that scene when I love and hate it, but the mini golf scene, it's like a double date kind of, and nothing good ever happens at mini golf when you're in middle school. Let me tell you, it's never a good time. It's never a good time. It's not fun. But they're all hanging out and they're kind of like, "Chris, you're being really quiet," and which is always the worst thing ever. Like, you're being weird,
right?
It's like, I'm just being me,
right?
And so he feels pressure to like tell a funny story because his friend is always telling the funny stories, and his story is about how they like found this dead squirrel and started fucking with it, which is just so like
they pour like an energy drink on it. It starts going nuts.
Yeah. And they're like, and he's swinging the squirrel around by his tail, and yeah, he's like, "Oh yeah, it was so crazy. It was so crazy. A really funny story." And the girls are like, "That's animal abuse." And he's just like, "Oh shit, sorry."
Right.
But I just thought that I was like, that has to be so real.
Oh yeah.
Just doing dumb shit.
Doing the
it doesn't always translate.
Shit. No. No. There are moments like that me and my friends have that like we still just like we'll bring up stupid moment like that.
Mhm.
And we will be in tears, like holding our stomachs on the floor, laughing our asses off, recalling some stupid nonsense. And all of our wives are sitting there looking at us like, what the fuck did we marry? You guys are absolute imbeciles. And they're right. But too late. You got you got had. You got.
Oh, that's amazing.
Was that line from Malcolm X with Denzel Washington? He's like, "You've been bamboozled. You've been hoodwinked."
It's perfect.
We got you. Any final thoughts on old Dídi?
Oh, old Dídi. Final thought, I have to just say this is the most realistic brother-sister dynamic of just, I don't know, at least I'm the oldest.
That's
I've got a little
intense. That was the
brother.
one thing. See, I'm an only child, and I was like, man, these motherfuckers really going at it. This is
Yeah. No, and I never I was never at that level with my brother, but I was so mean to him. And
Yeah.
I relate so much to this older sister where it's like I was so mean to him because I loved him so much. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It's the twisted nature of being an older sister.
right.
But in a way, fighting feels like playing,
Yeah.
I guess,
Right.
if that makes sense. And then, and she realizes she's gone too far. It's the worst feeling in the world. When he like takes it to heart, she's like, oh my God, what have I done? Because we're always doing this. So and their relationship, especially her, like them kind of realizing that they can be nice to each other without it being weird days before she moves away. Oh, just gets me in the feels, breaks my heart a little bit, but it's really special. It's a lot of like these little things that are so real that I've never really seen portrayed on screen before because they're so specific, I guess.
Right. All right. Dídi. It is available on Amazon Prime, I believe. So check that out. Not on Disney Plus.
Shocking. This should be on Disney Plus.
I know. Yeah, this one should be on Disney Plus, and 13 should be on not Disney Plus. But
yeah,
what do I know?
They got them mixed up.
What do I know? Anyways, check it out. Let us know what you think of it. Let us know what you think of all of these films. And there's a few ways to do that. You can message us on Instagram. You can go to Instagram and type in Gimme Three Podcast. That's GIMME, spell out 3 podcast. Gimme Three Podcast. Follow us. Bella's always posting some cool stuff on there. We got videos. We got behind the scenes photos. We do polls sometimes for, what movies we're going to be discussing on the episode. So you can partake in, you can be a member of our podcast here by picking what we watch. Your vote matters on our show, not in the grand scheme of things. We know that's
Don't get it twisted.
Don't get that twisted. You can also send us a text message. You can scroll down through our episode description. You're going to see a link that says send us a text message. Click that link. You can drop us a line. It's going to go directly into our inbox, and we may even read it on the air here if it is like funny, witty, or if it's a good question. You know what? We should do a Q&A episode at some point soon.
Oh, that would be fun.
And if you like the show, you like what we do, there's a few different ways you can support us. In fact, I'm going to give you Gimme 3 ways you can support the Gimme 3 podcast. Number 1 is to download our episodes. If you set our episodes to automatically download, then you have access to our episodes wherever you are. You don't need to be on the dang Wi-Fi, you be wherever and just listen to our show. But B, it really, really helps out our what's the algorithm and getting in front of more eyes if you download the episodes. Number 2, we have a Patreon for a mere $5 a month. You can support us. It helps keep the mics on, and there's some bonus content on there as well. And then number 3 is just let your friends know. If your friends like movies as much as you do, let them know about the Gimme Three podcast. Share it on your social media. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. And if you have friends who hate movies, share it with them as punishment, as a way to get back at them, Bella, why don't you tell the lovely folks where they can find you on the social media?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at Portrait of a Cinephile or on Letterboxd at BFStratus.
You can find me on Letterboxd, on Instagram, or on Blue Sky at Nicholas Ibarra. Ibarra is spelled with a Y. We want to thank you all for listening to the Gimme Three podcast, and we will see you at the movies.